Hi Aries, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. So this is going to be your love and spirituality reading for the rest of February, and this will be for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. And I'll also be doing an extended video, so make sure you check that out, and the link will be in the description box down below. So Aries, when I was pulling cards for you earlier, I got the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and I also got the Eight of Cups in reverse. So it looks like some of you are not very focused, or you're having a hard time keeping focus at the moment, and it is a result of having to walk away from something that once brought you a lot of joy. So it's like your energy is just kind of off and your focus is off because you aren't kind of like coping with this change in terms of having to let go of something that you were very invested in. So it's kind of difficult right now to focus on your future or to feel hopeful about the future because you're in kind of a low vibrational energy, which makes sense because, like I said, whatever it was that you had to walk away from, there was an emotional investment in it. So there's going to be like a period of time where you have to grieve, or you have to kind of let yourself work through those emotions. So let's see, for some of you who aren't in a romantic relationship, I feel like those cards could be talking about you just not being focused on the right things because your mind is on things that should be a low priority to you. Like, you need to prioritize what is truly important in your life and put all your energy into that instead of prioritizing things that are destructive or that are keeping you or holding you back. So let's see. Oh, okay. Alright, so we have the Hermit card here. So some of you are just really wanting to be in solitude at the moment, not really wanting anyone around you. A lot of you could be in deep contemplation mode. So it's like you're really going over a scenario in your head that really caused some type of deep transformation in you. I feel like before you met this person or before you entered that situation or that cycle, you were one way, and now you feel like you are a complete and totally different person now that you are completing that cycle, which I think could be a good thing because I feel like there's a lot of wisdom that was gained, and that's why you are a whole new person. It's certain experiences that we go through in life where once it's over with, it's like we could never be the person that we once were because of the amount of growth that has taken place, because of the amount of like epiphanies and realizations about yourself and about other people that takes place. So I do feel like some of you are just in this period of solitude, just really seeking out wisdom and clarity from within, and you're not really making any movements right now. It's just like a kind of like a stagnant sort of energy, and sometimes that could be a good thing because it's giving you time to really reflect and learn the lessons that you were meant to learn. But sometimes things can go a little overboard, meaning that sometimes you can get stuck to the point where you know you're supposed to be making progress in other areas of your life, but you're not. So you may be needing to start slowly but surely taking steps in a new direction. I feel like you've been in stagnation long enough and you've learned whatever it is that you needed to learn, and now it's time for you to start taking steps towards your future and moving forward. So the Ten of Cups is here in the reverse. So the Ten of Cups in the past position, let's show upright first. In the past position, talks about a happy sort of connection or just feeling very emotionally satisfied with something in your life. And in the reverse, it's the opposite of that. So you could have wanted to be happy and emotionally fulfilled with someone, but things just kept going wrong, or it's like no matter how hard you tried, you kept on hitting a roadblock or some type of barrier when it comes to this person. I feel like you saw this person for who you wanted them to be instead of who they actually are, or they presented themselves to be one way, and then after a while you start to see, okay, they're really not that way. It's like they presented the best version of themselves, like most people do when you first meet them, but they couldn't really live up to your expectations, or they couldn't live up to the image that they presented to you about themselves, is what I'm seeing. And Aries is a quite realistic sign, I would say. I wouldn't say that Aries get caught up in illusions a lot. I would say that Aries are more of a kind of like a masculine or dominant sign that can see people for who they are exactly. So I do think this person might have just, like I said, pulled the wool over your eyes or acted one way and then ended up being another. I don't think it's a case where you were just being totally and completely delusional and creating all of this in your head. See what I'm saying? some of you could have a kid with this person or could have been thinking about having children with this person. But overall, I just feel like you were hoping that they would complete you in some way. You were hoping that this was finally like the missing piece of the puzzle, because you've been feeling just a bit empty, or just like life is not making sense, or that life just isn't fun. There's no passion in it. So I feel like this person kind of came and sparked that passion, but then something kind of went left. So the World card is also here. The World card talks about a cycle, and it talks about completing a cycle successfully. So I feel like you did complete this cycle successfully, even though you may not think you did, or you may not feel that you did. I think that a lot of people think that they failed in their relationships or in certain situations simply because it ended. Like, a lot of people think, okay, it's only successful if me and this person end up together forever. But that's not always the case. Sometimes someone comes into your life in order for you to learn something or for you to see something. And being successful sometimes means cutting ties and taking the knowledge with you that you have gained through the situation. So there is no loss here. Like, you didn't lose at this situation. Some of you could be beating yourself up and feeling like you lost, feeling like you took an L, but you really didn't. I feel like you did exactly what you were supposed to do, and you learned everything that you were meant to learn. And the Two of Pentacles here, I feel like, let me show you the card. I feel like with the Two of Pentacles being here, it's like you still juggling the idea that something is wrong, like that you did something wrong and that that person did something wrong. I feel like the reason that it's being juggled in your mind, these two conflicting energies, is because, like I said, you're not seeing it from the perspective of, I learned what I needed to learn. Instead, you're kind of seeing it from a more realistic standpoint. Like I said before, Aries is a much more like realistic, I see it for how it is type of sign. And sometimes that's not a good thing, because then you could miss the higher lesson. Sometimes you can focus so much of the details, or focus so much on the details of what happened, that you can kind of miss the higher perspective of what's going on. So you didn't lose, you didn't fail. It's not anything that you should beat yourself up over. I feel like everything played out exactly how it's supposed to play out. Also, with this Two of Pentacles being here, I feel like you do need to figure out what it is in life that is important and start focusing on that instead of focusing on the things that you have lost. So the Queen of Swords is here. So the Queen of Swords talks about someone who has an energy that is quite cutting. I guess that's the best word for it. It's like someone who, they see you for who you are. They're very logical, so they will cut you off the minute that you present yourself to be anything else but positive in their lives. You know, like, the Queen of Swords is not someone who will give you chance after chance after chance. It's someone who, like, okay, you're fucking up and my life is valuable, or my energy and time is valuable, so it's time for you to go. And I feel like that's the energy that you're taking on presently. And I say that because it's coming up under the Ten of Cups in the reverse. So that means that you are seeing through the fantasy, or seeing through the illusion of who that person presented themselves to be, and you're understanding that they need to be cut and that you need to not look back. Sometimes you have to shut your heart off, because your heart could be telling you, no, we can still do this, we can still make it work, but your logical mind is clearly telling you it's not going to work. So sometimes you need to dismiss what your heart is saying and think logically. And I don't always give that advice. Most times I think, okay, well, use your heart and your mind, but sometimes you have to just use your mind, especially when your emotions are so strong that you are wanting to see the good in someone, or you're wanting to see that the situation is going to be prosperous. Sometimes you have to cut your emotions off completely and think strictly logical. How did this person treat me? Did I feel good when I was in a relationship with this person? Did they uplift me? Did they drain me and devalue me? You know, and once you sit down and look at the facts, then make a decision based off of the facts and not based off of your emotions. So the Three of Pentacles is also here. So I feel like the Three of Pentacles is talking about rebuilding, rebuilding your life, rebuilding your confidence, rebuilding your self-esteem. Some of you are needing to connect with people who think like you and act like you, because I feel like you have been involved with people who are on a different frequency than you. So it's like you've been involved with people who just don't get it. Like, it's very clear that you are dedicated to healing and becoming a better version of yourself, but they're not. And it's like y'all speak a different language almost. And sometimes you have to leave people like that in the past, because, like I said, you're on two different frequencies. So no matter what you say, they will not understand. No matter what they say, you will not understand. It's kind of like just speaking gibberish to each other. You know, like when you're in those relationships and it's a minor problem and you ask the person like to not do that, and they still do it, and you're just like, what the hell? it's so small, I'm asking you to do something so tiny and you're still not doing it, what's your problem? It's usually because, like I said, you're on different frequencies. They can't see things from your point of view. They can't empathize with you, and they're not willing to put in the work for that very reason. So sometimes you have to leave those people behind and just start to connect with people who are more likely, who are more like you, and who are more likely to understand you, and who are more likely to treat you with that respect and admiration because they understand you. But mostly I feel like this is you building a new life for yourself, or just really like starting from scratch is what I'm hearing. Taking the lessons that you've learned and starting from scratch. I feel like the image that I'm getting in my head is like when you obtain bricks is what I'm hearing. It's like, think of the knowledge and the wisdom that you have obtained in that past cycle as like bricks, and you're taking those bricks with you now and building a new solid foundation, if that makes sense. I try my best to explain how I'm seeing it in my head, but yeah, I think that you're now building something solid in your life because you no longer want something that's flimsy and that can easily fall apart. I feel like you've been in situations that just fell apart so easily. It almost feels disrespectful to me is what I'm hearing. It's like how dare you give up on this so easy, or how dare you mess this up so easily, you know? Like when you feel like you have something great with someone and then they just do something stupid and you're like how dare you? Like how disrespectful can you be to mess up something that could be so great? And I feel like in those situations it's because there was not a solid foundation. There was not like a solid friendship or like a solid base for a house to be built on top of. It was like this very quick or rushed type of scenario where you didn't really get to know the person, and therefore your base or your foundation is wobbly and you're trying to build a house on it and it just ends up collapsing. So I feel like now you're in a position where you are wanting something secure and solid, so you are building a solid foundation to build anything that you want on top of it, whether it be like a new career or new friendships, a new relationship. You're just getting yourself right and getting yourself solid and secure so you can build the life that you want on top of that structure. So the King of Cups is also here, and the King of Cups talks about mastering your emotions, and I feel like a lot of you are mastering your emotions now. You're no longer juggling your feelings back and forth and thinking about going back into past situations that no longer serve you. It's like you go from being kind of confused and not really knowing, what to do, giving your energy to the wrong people and the wrong things, and now it's like you have mastered your energy, you've mastered your internal world, or you're needing to focus on mastering your internal world, meaning that you should be able to go inward and connect with yourself in order to get the answers that you're seeking, and you should be in total and complete control of what's going on in your life. I mean, obviously there are things in life that we can't control, but it's like no matter what's going on in the external world, you still have the ability to go inward and make sure that you are still okay and that you are still solid. I feel like in that past cycle you were very off balance, and it's because of whatever this person was doing. It was like throwing you off balance. It was just like something that was just very it's like chaotic or like confusing type of energy, and now you have got to the point where you can handle a situation like that. Like if another situation like your past one came into your life, you would handle it completely differently because of the knowledge and the wisdom that you have obtained. So now you understand the importance of being in control of your emotions and not giving your power away to someone, not investing in someone so quickly that they have the ability to throw you off course, or they have the ability to kind of like disrupt your life. So this is a good thing. I feel like a lot of you have definitely grown and learned, and you are on the road to self-mastery, to really mastering yourself, mastering your mind, and mastering your feelings. So this is a very positive thing, Aries. Overall, I just feel like this is a time for you to just continue to build yourself up. Make sure that you are becoming a person that you actually like. Like if you have been doing things in the past that if another person was doing them, you would say like, wow, that's really unacceptable, then you have to change those things within yourself, So like, for example, if you saw someone who was just mistreating themselves, you would think like, wow, you shouldn't treat yourself that way. You shouldn't act that way towards yourself. You should be kinder to yourself. And it's so easy for us to give that advice to other people, but then we don't take it ourselves. So I think that you're needing to apply all that positive advice and wisdom that you give to others. It's like you're needing to shift that and give it to yourself, and make sure that you are taking the action towards building yourself and becoming a new, better version of yourself. So that is it, Aries. I hope that this was helpful. I feel like this reading was kind of serious. Like some of you are in serious mode, which makes sense because like I said, you stepped out of a very hectic cycle. So some of you are very serious right now, and you're just like, life is getting real, like it's real shit going on right now. And I feel like you're gonna finally be able to come out the other side of this as a better version of you, and then hopefully you'll get back to like your playful, fun-loving self. That's a lot of things that that's the thing that a lot of people, I mean, don't know about Aries, is that they are very, very playful. Kind of like children at heart, and when they're not, it's because it's some crazy shit going on like in their external environment, and they're needing to get very serious and become almost like a masculine dominant figure in order to get past whatever situation that they're in. So hopefully you'll get back to, you know, your fun loving self, and life will just start to lighten up and ease up as this energy falls away. So thank you so much for watching, Aries. I hope this was helpful, and I'm going to leave the extended video in the link down below. So I will see you guys over on my Vimeo channel.